Takumi was born in a city where gunfire and explosions echoed day and night. Running through the rubble wasn't a game, it was survival. At the age of 10, a child should be walking to school with a backpack strapped to their shoulders. But in Takumi's hands were no textbooks, only a rusted shovel and an empty tin can. His parents vanished one night when the fires of war swallowed the city. In the charred ruins after the bombing, the hand he thought he was holding, his mother's, was gone. His father's voice would never reach his ears again. Why was I born in a place like this? The words slipped from his lips and disappeared into the cold night sky, carried away with his breath. Food rations came sporadically. Fights and theft were a part of daily life. There was nothing and no one he could truly trust. It was in the midst of that broken world that Takumi stumbled upon it. A lone metallic capsule sitting quietly at the far end of an underground shelter. Etched in faded English on its transparent lid were the words, "Life Reset System, number of uses remaining, 3. At first he thought it was a joke. But beside it an old terminal displayed a message. You may restart your life from the beginning. However, your memories will remain. And time will continue to pass, you will still age. Takumi didn't hesitate. If I can start over. He lowered himself into the capsule and gently closed his eyes. When Takumi opened his eyes, the sky was a clear, endless blue, and birdsong filled the air. He found himself in a wooden house that carried the scent of something deeply familiar. An elderly couple stood before him, smiling gently. "Takumi, can you help us in the fields today?" they said with warmth in their voices. The aroma of hot soup, the crisp crust of freshly baked bread. The earthy scent of soil. In that moment he felt something he had never truly known, happiness. He pinched the back of his hand over and over. This wasn't a dream. This was real. But as the days passed, a hollow feeling began to grow quietly within him, like a hole opening in his heart. I want something more. What Takumi didn't realize was this. The restlessness buried beneath his peaceful life was the very beginning of desire. Takumi activated the reset device once more. This time he awoke on a luxurious bed, sunlight pouring through the glass walls of a high-rise apartment. Digital paintings shifted on the walls. And a soft, synthetic voice greeted him. "Good morning, Master Takumi. Please review today's schedule." He had been reborn as the only son of a wealthy family. Everything was handed to him, luxury without limit. Sports cars, high-end games, trips abroad. At first it was exhilarating. But then he noticed something. Where are my real friends? The smiles around him were never for him, they were for his status and wealth. There was no need to strive, no reason to challenge himself. Praise and recognition came not from who he was, but simply from what he had. He could have anything he desired. But the joy never lasted. One night, gazing out at the glittering city lights from his window, Takumi whispered quietly to himself, "This isn't happiness." When Takumi activated the reset for the third and final time, there was no hesitation left in him. He didn't know where he would end up, he wished for only one thing. I want to choose for myself. And then, a deafening blast tore through the air, followed by the trembling of the ground beneath him. Before his eyes, the war-torn city had returned, the charred remains of buildings. People running in panic. The roar of helicopters ripping through the sky. Takumi was once again in the same place. And once again he was alone. He was 16 now. But something within him had changed. So it's here again, but this time, I won't run. He placed his hand on the familiar, scorched earth, and slowly rose to his feet. From beneath the rubble, he heard the faint cries of a young girl. Without thinking, Takumi rushed toward the sound and gently lifted her into his arms. It's okay. You're safe now. His voice was calm, so calm it surprised even him. The girl's small hand trembled in his grasp. But when he held it tightly, something stirred deep within him. Something real. Something unshakable. Yes, perhaps it's because he had so little to lose, that the joy of protecting someone else could feel this powerful. Convenience, wealth, anything handed to you, can never hold true value. Maybe, this is what it means to be alive. As he looked up, a fragment of blue peeked through the smoke-filled sky. Even beyond the flames of war, a faint light was breaking through. Takumi smiled quietly. Even if this world was cruel and unfair, at the very least the life he was living now was the one he had chosen. And with that thought, his feet felt firmly planted on the ground, as if for the first time he truly belonged there.